Star Wars Jedi Survivor is one of the most exciting releases of 2023, bringing more lightsaber action to PlayStation. But what is it that differentiates this sequel from its 2019 predecessor? What new is this game bringing to spice up the Star Wars formula? Well, we're about to get into that with 32 facts that you need to know about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a third-person action-adventure game and sequel to 2019's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The game is being developed once more by Respawn Entertainment. Survivor will be released on April 28, 2023 after a short delay for March. This game will release exclusively on next-gen consoles, so PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. There will not be a PS4 version. The game will come with just two editions, the Standard and Deluxe. If you pre-order the game, you'll get the base experience and the Jedi Survival Cosmetic Pack in the Standard Edition, and a new Hero and Galactic Hero Cosmetic Pack if you order the Deluxe. Now, as is the case with these videos, I'm going to split up the rest of the information into different topics. In the case of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, those topics are story, gameplay, and world. Let's get into it. Jedi Survivor picks up 5 years after the events of Fallen Order, once again following one Cal Kestis, played by Cameron Monaghan. Cal is no longer a Padawan, but now a powerful and fully trained Jedi Knight, which will have some impact on the gameplay of course, but more on that later. After refusing to try and restore the Jedi Order, so as to save the young Force-sensitive children, Cal is left looking over his shoulder as the dark times approach under the Empire's rule. The Mantis group from the first game have since split, but it seems like we'll be running into the likes of Grease and Night Sister Merrin once more across the Jedi Survivor campaign. With it taking place 5 years after Fallen Order, Survivor is set 10 years after the infamous Order 66 from Revenge of the Sith, and is set roughly around the same time as the events of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney+. While we don't know a lot of specifics about its story, Cal will have to decide how far he's willing to go to save those closest to him. And if the story trailers are anything to go by, he is hunting down a new safe haven for surviving Jedi and Force-sensitive individuals. Okay, so let's get on to the gameplay changes coming to Jedi Survivor. For one, Cal will not suffer a skill reset. You've continued your training for the last 5 years, so it wouldn't really make sense to go back skill-wise. That means that you have all the skills, equipment, and abilities that you earned across Fallen Order. You will even start the game with 3 unique lightsaber stances, with an additional 2 to unlock as you progress through the game. These will alternate your playstyle and will fit for different combat scenarios. These stances are single blade, double blade, dual wield, crossguard, and blaster. Blaster and crossguard in particular are really exciting, as one allows you to wield a blaster alongside your lightsaber for long range combat, and then the other is a Kylo Ren styled lightsaber suited to tactical and measured attacks. Each of these Jedi fighting stances has its own skill tree too. You can even equip 2 of these stances at the same time and switch between them at the push of a button. Each stance will also come with its own force ability, which you can activate with the push of the triangle button. For the likes of the double-ended saber, you will throw it and it will spin in an area around you, slicing and damaging any enemy within that area. Speaking of enemies, you will be facing plenty of iconic and new enemy types across Survivor's campaign, like the battle droid from the prequel era, an agile dual sword wielding robot, and even a Rancor. Dismemberment will be making its way into the game, and while I highly doubt that you'll be swiping off stormtrooper limbs anytime soon, dismemberment on some creatures and most droids will feature, making the swoosh and spark of your lightsaber all the more awesome. With Cal keeping all of his old abilities, you can of course expect new ones. From the gameplay trailers we can see the likes of a levitation skill and the ability to pull stormtroopers in and have them shoot their own team. From a collection of previews, it appears that Respawn has generally tightened up the gameplay experience, moving away from the awkward and often floaty feel of Cal in Fallen Order. And being a next gen only release, you can of course expect to feel the Force through the DualSense controller on PS5, amping the immersive capabilities of all those combat scenarios with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Okay, onto a quick section about the worlds that you'll be exploring. One of the biggest complaints in Fallen Order was the amount of backtracking players had to endure thanks to its Metroidvania approach to level design. Now Survivor isn't moving away from that style, but it is aiming to smooth out the experience so players can expect less one-way slides, forcing them to work their way back. It should all just feel much more natural, open and seamless. And that's because Respawn Entertainment is keen to move away from the Golden Path approach. Now it's still going to be there for players looking for it, but it will also support the curious Jedi that wants to wander around the beautifully detailed environments. Exploring said environments, you can still expect to come across loot chests, but whereas in Fallen Order this only unlocked a new dye for your outfit, customization is massively expanded upon in Jedi Survivor. In these chests you'll now find new jackets, trousers, shirts, BD1 and lightsaber options, and even hair and facial hair options for Cal. As a newer game harnessing the power of the PS5, open areas will be larger and denser, so if you want to take in those sights, but with a little bit of speed, mounts will be the way to go. Cal will now be able to traverse the various planets that he visits on a collection of alien creatures, from two-legged beasts to pterodactyl-like creatures. We don't know all of the mounts that the game will offer, but come on, we've got to try out a Tauntaun surely. Traversal itself seems to be far improved and expanded upon with air dashes and even a grappling hook ability that will hopefully improve those sketchy platforming sections from the first game. The map system is also said to be refined after Fallen Order's rather convoluted map design. If you want to go even faster when travelling around, then you'll be glad to know that fast travel has been introduced. Something missing from Fallen Order. Where we don't know the exact number of planets that we will visit, with Respawn's refreshed approach, each should be far expanded upon. From the previews we know that we will visit Kobo, a western style planet, and going by the trailers it also looks like Coruscant will also be there. Fallen Order featured 5 open explorable planets with 2 linear ones, so I would expect a similar number for Survivor. And lastly, open planet areas will have these hubs, which you can return to, speak to locals, and then open up the possibility of side quests, which are called rumours here. There's even the option to add new elements of life to the town. One preview stated that by talking to an individual in a saloon in Kobo, they convinced them to return to DJing, giving the option to play in-world music. And those are the 32 facts that you needed to know ahead of the Star Wars Jedi Survivor release on April 28th. Let me know down in the comments if you'll be picking up this vastly improved upon sequel. If you enjoyed today's video, then please consider leaving a like, and even better, subscribing to the channel if you want to keep up with the news, reviews, guides and gameplay all within the world of PlayStation. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.